Hey everybody, well we finally made it up into the shop. This video is going to be in a 3-part series. I do apologize for the length, but I think there's a pretty good learning lesson here. And at the end of it, like I said, you guys get to walk away with something, okay? Well, what we've done is we pulled our material. This is going to be our frame. It's roughly our 10 by 20. This is the important one. This is the board that we're going to mill our clock face on. Now, dimensionally, this is exact. This is exactly 10 by 10, 11 by 11, whatever I happen to have, but it is perfectly square. Corner to corner, the whole nine, okay? What I do on my machine is, you may not be able to see them too well, I end up using a 3/4 inch stop. This was some laminate, some AZAC that I had left over. And what I did was I basically put these along my X and Y axis. They're basically like a stop block, if you would, okay? I'm not a clamp guy. I'm not saying anything bad about anybody who uses. I'm just not a clamp guy, okay? And how I secure these is I have found a screw that is just small enough or short enough so that we'll go through this and we'll go into the top of my spoiler board, but it will not go all the way through my spoiler board into the factory board. Okay? So that when I swap out the old one, put the new one on, there's no marks, no hideous screw holes all through the original factory spoiler board. To make sure that it's square, well, get yourself every carpenter's got squares. Check your corner, okay? I already know that this on the X and Y axis is nice and square. Now what's going to happen, we're going to run the frame first. Then we're going to come back and we're going to do your face. Now I told you, we're going to be doing some two-sided milling. You're going to do your back side first with your pockets and your hole for your threaded spindle that your clock insert goes in. We're going to mill it, and then basically we're going to take it and we're going to just flip it right upside down, and then we'll mill our face. I've done this quite a few times. If there is any deviation or anything's out around, it is so minuscule that you will not even notice it by the naked eye. Okay, and it is wood we're dealing with here. These aren't like a regular machine shop tolerance type thing. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mill the face frame. We'll pause this video. I'll have to put in bits and pieces and edit it all up nice. But when we do get to the clock face, I will try to shoot a good video of that so you guys can see hands-on exactly what we're doing. Okay? Well, without further ado, I'm going to get the face frame in. I'm going to get it ready to mill, and we'll be right back. All right, guys. Thanks. All right. Hey, guys. Well, the frame just ran out. We'll get it off the deck. As we can see, I hope you can see. We'll come in just a titch closer. Okay. Our slots are in. They're to the depth for the thickness of material that I'm using. Our mounting bars are embedded, just like we said, in the center of the face frame, so that by the time we chop him out, we have minimal waste, and I just convert all the scrap into BTUs anyway. So, now, I'm going to set this one aside. Excuse me for one moment. And we're getting ready now to do the clock face. Like I told you before, this is going to have to be flipped in the blank. It is very, very important that this dimensionally is the same size. 10 by 10, 11 by 11, whatever you're using a clock face for. Perhaps you guys might be out buying material. This is a piece that I had to glue and clamp last night. If you're going out buying material, and this calls out for a 7 3/4 inch round, buy like a 1 by 10. Some of the larger home improvement stores now are selling the 2-foot sticks, 3/4. You can get poplar, maple, oak. I think those are the 3 biggest ones. But if you were to buy a 1 by 10, you know it's going to be, what, 9 1/4 wide? Well, that will easily do a 7 3/4 inch clock face. Just make sure that you cut it dimensionally. If it's 9 1/4 wide, make sure your length matches. Okay. Enough of that lesson. Now, this has got some spalting in it. I want the spalting on my face. I love spalted material. I like working with it. So we're going to take the back, and I'm going to use this side as my back. Now, we're going to put this down, I'm not going to make you guys through the painstaking of watching the machine run, okay? But we'll get this mounted, we'll get it in, we'll get our slots, and we'll get everything milled out that we need. We'll pull it out, we'll resume the video then, and then we'll just have some closing statements at the end of this. This has been, like I said, a long video. I think this has been a good project though, and if you guys just want to hang on, this video will continue. Great, guys, thanks. Alright guys, here we go again. Alright, we just milled out the back of the clock face. Now, I'm going to make note of this right here, right now. I did have a slight little oops. I made a correction to the program. I'm going to also include a PDF or a Word doc or something like that with any revisions. The revision I made was, as I told you, this is a clock insert right here. This is the one with the little pendulum tick, 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 okay? The threaded mounting shaft that will go through the clock, I told you that the diameters of these can vary, especially if they're not made in the United States. I know that quality standards vary in different countries, okay? If you've ever bought anything from a mail order supply, maybe it was an entertainment center, yeah, say no more between the blueprints or the schematics they give you for assembly and the hardware. If you get all of it, you're lucky, okay? Well, in this case, I revised the hole. I told you most of my shafts that I get in are between 305 and 310. I put it at 3 1/4. It was still too tight. We opened it up to 350 thousandths. Still, that's not going to be a lot of slop in there. Well, we're going to pop this out right now. Okay, what we've got is we have our pockets for our mounting bars. We've got our pocketed slot for this, for our clock insert, and our hole is drilled. We're going to very gently push this in. Now, if you've got to go back, if this is too tight, don't be afraid to open that hole up a little more. Your pocket for your insert, you can go back in and you can correct that. That's easy enough. This fits nice, it's snug, and lo and behold, sticking up out of the top, I know you really won't be able to see it, I've got an easy 1/4 of an inch of threaded rod, threaded shaft sticking up for the clock. So great. I know this is going to work. Alright? The other thing I'm going to tell you is I also made a revision in the program because I set this center hole to be drilled out for the clock insert. I set it under a drill tap parameter like you would do a cribbage board. I don't know what my head was. I have readjusted it to a profile tool path. A drilling tool path isn't going to cut around. It's only a single up and down function. If you have a bit, though, that is the exact size you need for the hole, by all means. But I went back and I changed it to a profile, okay? Now, I told you, when this comes out of the table, it's very important that when I go to flip this, now, depending upon when you go to flip it, you want to make sure you just flip it right over like this, okay? If you rotate it sideways and you're using a clock that doesn't have a face on it, it really isn't going to matter. But if you use something with numbers or rotate it the wrong way, well, now your pocketed slot isn't going to line up properly, and we just won't go there, okay? So however you pull it out, pull it straight back, and flip it over, okay? And that's it. What we're going to do is we're going to take now, we're going to run the clock face, and we'll continue the video afterwards. But if you guys hang on, we'll finish this up. We'll close with a couple comments, and we'll get all this edited, and we'll get this out to you guys so you can see it and put it to use and enjoy your new clock. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Well, if you're watching this, we are at the end of this video. We have fabricated our clock, okay, which we have right here. We'll touch base over a couple things real quick. We made a couple revisions, not to the frame, okay, but to the clock face itself. On the back, We had the two pocketing tool paths, okay, which I don't know if you can see them very well, for the mounting bars, okay, so that the mounting bars could go into the clock face. We had the pocket for the clock insert, and then the hole. The hole, I had set it up under a drilling tool function. No, I've changed that over to a pocket. We're not able to, with a 1/4 inch end mill, I need 350 thousandths. That particular tool command in VCarve Pro doesn't opt for you or allow you to do that. Now, if you had a drill bit or an end mill that was exactly 350 thousandths or close to the hole you needed, that would be fine. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to change it over to a pocket. That way there, everything can just be done with the end mill on the back, okay? I am not, however, going to change 30 minutes worth of video. The other thing I did, and this is the face, these are our little ticky marks, okay, our little browns to signify our hours. There was a ring that went around it, okay? I had my ring too close to the edge. Some of it kind of flaked and chipped off with the bevel. I just did away with the ring, okay? I've also taken it out of the program, so all you're going to end up with are just the browns. We'll make a revisionary, we'll do something on Word doc. We'll entitle it Revisions, okay? Now, when you guys get ready to put these together, the nice part is, if you remember, we milled this, it called out for 2 1/8, we did it at 2 1/4. That's by 4 high, so that our clock insert would fit in there, okay? Now, what's nice is that your face frame is 2 1/2 inches wide. You'll be able to put your clock insert right in the back. So, let's say you got a bunch of these you want to do for gifts. You can assemble, and you can put the inserts in afterwards. I just wanted to make sure of that first. The other thing, too, we had mentioned with our heights, okay? I told you I'm using 1 inch material, which I am. Everything here is 1 inch thick. Even our mounting bars, okay? We did our pockets 300 thousandths here. We did them 300 thousandths here. I still have not quite 400 thousandths. We needed 375, we needed 3/8. Well, an extra 20, 30 thousandths isn't going to hurt anything, okay? When everything goes together, okay, you may not even need clamps. We're going to throw a little tight bond in this tonight. I'm going to set it on my workbench and I'll just put something heavy on it. It'll be done for tomorrow. And we'll get it sealed up. I'm going to keep it natural because the clock face has got some nice spalt in it. I'm a spalted maple, beech, and poplar nut, so, okay? But this is your clock. I mean, this is really a nice little clock, okay? We're going to include all the links. And like I told you, we cut out quite a lot of pieces because we decided to teach you how to make your clock face versus buying the plastic one, okay? To also recap real quick what ultimately led up to this lesson to make this clock, this CNC fabricated clock for grandma, okay, were the lessons that were ultimately on the website under the free videos, okay? Close to 50 glasses, all right? Raster, vector images, and CAD. You don't have to have as extensive of a background as, say, a graphic designer for this trade, but it is nice to understand the form and the function of everything and how the machine communicates with the computer and the software. I'm not saying you've got to learn how to write your own CAD software, but it's nice to have a little understanding. So we shot a video on raster and vector imagery and how it communicates with CAD, okay? The second one we did, which is on the website, was raster to vector image in Inkscape. What we did was we showed you where you could go to get a free open source piece of software. Now this software is every bit equivalent for the purpose of what we're doing here to Adobe Illustrator, okay? I have nothing against Adobe Illustrator, the guys that use it, but you guys starting out, we're all small, we're working on budgets. If you can afford all the good high-end software, hey, I'm happy, even a little envious of you, but, you know, some of us starting out, you know, the machine, the tooling, the equipment, it takes a big chunk. So we did the Inkscape video as far as how to take a JPEG or a raster image and then convert it into a vector image using a free piece of software known as Inkscape. Good enough. After we render a vector image into an EPS format with Inkscape, that would be your encapsulated PostScript. I use that one pretty much exclusively. It's what I'm most comfortable with, but I showed you how to import that EPS file into your VCarve Pro software and how to use it. The other thing you also have is a bitmap reader inside VCarve Pro. It will do the exact same thing Inkscape will, but I think Inkscape renders your vector imagery a little bit nicer than even what comes with your VCarve Pro. But we did give you a lesson. There's a ton of them online as well. But I just wanted to show you the two options for converting raster to vector imagery. Okay. The other one, cannibalizing programs. We have a video out there for that. You saw me use it in here, okay? And what we did was when we had the face frame, set the mounting bars here so they don't fall on the floor. When we were doing the back side of the clock face, you saw me pull in the entire face frame, okay? Well, I can't get the bar out. You saw me pull the entire face frame in. You saw me line up where the slots went, and then you saw me delete the rest of the frame and throw it away, and then you saw me highlight these two bars and center them, okay? By doing that, this fits onto the frame with no problem at all, okay? The other thing, in order to get your bars into the clock, you got to remember, they're cut square on the machine. When you do your pockets with an end mill, you're going to have a little radius. You're going to need to take these on either, I don't know, I just use my orbital upside down, and I just roll them back and forth until I got a radius around them. If not, they're not going to fit in, okay? But this goes together with no problem. I don't have any problem putting this together. I've already fit in an insert, so I know that after it's glued up, I can put the insert in then with no big of a deal. And there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a beautiful little clock. We've got our gap off the back. We have fitted it with hardware. Like I said, we got a little more sanding, and we're going to seal it natural. But although I don't have a grandma, I'm pretty sure that I can find some sweet dear woman up here that I can give this to. No problem. Make a nice little gift in their kitchen, or I can give it to somebody to hang in their camp. Okay? Unfortunately, I can't provide you with the inserts. You got to go buy those. But for 20 bucks, the earlier part of the video, you saw how to look at your different lengths depending upon the thickness of the material you're using. I threw a lot at you. Some of you may be confused. I don't blame you. Right now, I kind of am. But if you have any questions whatsoever, hit us up in the comment box. Send me an email. But please, 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 come by the shop. Come by the shop's website, littlewoodshop.com. Take a look around. Look in the free stuff section. We got videos, and there will also be a video in there on a pile of free cribbage boards. We've got all branches, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, and we even threw the Coast Guard in there. You have your choice between a cribbage board, or we pulled the ring of holes off with the start and finish holes. And then we were able to personalize them. You can put in name and rank. These also make fabulous gifts. You guys have been great. I thank you very, very much for hanging with me this long. And again, any questions, hit us up, and we'll get back to you as promptly as we can. Well, again, thank you guys.